Talking Masters, Arash. See, I wore a nice green golf tarp.
I see that. I see that.
It is, I was supposed to go COVID year. Obviously, that went all weird. They played it in the fall, which is still close. So I didn't get to go. I've never been. You have been to the course. The one thing that they say, and you kind of start to get it when you watch it on TV, is the undulation. There are some long, hard walks when it comes to hills that make sense why the older guys, the tiger that's always hurt, the body breaks down. What makes it so unique from your side of things?
Well, so many things, Barney. Yes, it's very hilly. That's something that you can barely kind of see on TV, but there's no question about that. But beyond that, like with all due respect to our friend Brian Golly, no one's smart with their money when they walk into the gates of the Masters. Because you know why? Everybody there is having the best day of their life. For 95% of the patrons, not the gallery, the patrons, this is their bucket list day, their bucket list moment. They have waited their entire lives, wanted their entire lives to get here. It's the cathedral of golf. It's one of the meccas of sport. And when you walk inside those gates, honestly, like, I get chills just thinking about it, and I haven't been there since 2011. Like, and I'm not really a big golf fan, but there's something different. Like, there and Wimbledon are the two places that when you're kind of there, everyone's just watching the day go by and with this smile on their face, and they just couldn't be happier, man.
Dude, Kay, I don't know if you guys, I was going to run up by the seas. I had no idea, and this has become a big thing in the last 24 hours for broadcasters. I think it was Brandel Chambly that came out. So you get somewhat reprimanded for calling it the driving range. It's the tournament practice facility. You don't call it the back nine. It's called the second nine.
Right.
No, you don't say fans. You say patrons.
Yes.
And it's not the rough. It's the
tall grass.
First cut. Yeah, it's
like the pine needles are immaculate there. You know, like nothing's out of place, and it's a throwback. There's not a place like it. It's not that there's not a place like it in sports. There are very few places like it on earth. Like it's almost like you're walking into the sports version of a castle from the 1800s, you know? And yet it's kind of kept pretty modern there. They're on the cutting edge of a lot of technology over there at Augusta National.
And then there were some easy and simple ones. No napping. Okay, you can't lay down. You can't even lay down in the grass. You lay down in the grass like some sort of hobo, they're like, hey, get up. You can't do that. No tipping of any sorts. You can't walk around with your shoes off, which people will be like, well, what? No, if you got nice grass, and I walk around caddy for my son up in Waskesiu in the junior, and I take my flip-flops off and walk on the nice spongy grass. No backwards hats. That's obvious. And I heard, I was trying to research this one, chairs that you bring can't have arms. And I'm like,
I didn't know that.
That sounds a little.
Here's the other unwritten rule that's impossible there. If you walk into the pro shop, Barney, good luck leaving there without spending at least $700.
Oof.
Okay, so here's the thing about the Masters, and maybe this has changed, but I don't think it has. And you were never able to buy Masters gear swag online. The only stuff that you can buy is actually at the course. So you get into this like store, and everything's that you can imagine, from hoodies and sweaters and golf shirts and caps and flags and posters and ball markers and tees and whatever. And you know, when you go to the grocery store and all the candies and chocolates are right there for the impulse buy, all the little nooks and crannies are right there at the cash register. You end up scooping like $200 or $300 extra at checkout on top of everything else.
Yeah, that I've been to. I went to the PGA Championship once, and they had the merchandise tents. Same thing. You're like walking through like you're at the dollar store. It's like, I need that. Right. And I need that. And I'm never going to say, oh, that really hurt if I didn't spend $25 on that. That's awesome. Is there one thing that if anyone ever gets a chance to go that you recommend, like a unique experience or something cool to do?
Honestly, just what I would recommend is don't go Thursday to Sunday. Don't go during the tournament. The best time to actually go is a practice round, like Tuesday, Wednesday. The par 3 goes on the Wednesday. But the Tuesday is so fun. Everybody's in a laid-back mood. Everyone's happy to be there, inside the ropes too. And you might see a golfer kind of on one of the fairways pull out the 5-iron, try it. Then they drop the ball, and then they pull out the 6-iron and try it. I remember one year, one of the golfers kind of looked over. He tried 3 different shots with 3 different clubs, finally looked over to one of the patrons and said, okay, well, these 3 clubs didn't work. Do you have a suggestion for me? It's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more loose. And you miss so much of the tournament, Thursday to Sunday. The vibe is just so much better on a practice round or the par 3 on Tuesday or Wednesday.
What? So
I know.
I'll tell you a quick golf story from that PGA Championship at Hazeltine. So the fellows all went on Monday, Tuesday, and the guy was living in Rochester, so we're staying there. And I didn't go until Wednesday. I had young kids, and so you couldn't take phones in. And this was BlackBerry. Because what year was that?
Sure.
2000, whenever. Yeah, not 2009, I think. So no BlackBerries. So no cameras. So
That's right.
The boys are like, well, what's going on? Like, no cameras, we're not going to get any. But you can take pictures, practice rounds as much as you want.
That's right.
So I said, okay, well, you guys are there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Barney isn't. But here's how Barney's brain works. You guys go buy a couple disposable cameras. Remember the old click, 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 those ones?
I do.
Put them in
the yellow, gold Kodaks. Yep.
Put them in some Ziploc bags. Go and hide them somewhere in the bush. Then on Sunday, it's search. Or we go and search for them, grab them, and the mission's complete. Worked textbook. So when Y.E. Yang sinks that putt against Tiger Woods, and he's like this, I'll send you it. There's a group of 8 pigeons from Regina, Saskatoon, all over Saskatchewan, all up at the same shirts, and me and my buddy have the yellow cameras, and we're taking pictures of it.
That's amazing. So there was no rain that week. The cameras didn't get destroyed. No one went sifting through the bushes.
The boys put it in a hollowed out log that was tipped over.
Oh,
so even if it would have rained,
these are veterans. These are the guys who on a college football trip know to bring the airport bottle booze and put it in their socks, because then when they're not serving, you go into the bathroom with a big fountain Coke and load up the rum.
We have lots of time. Okay, so here's the other one from that story.
Okay.
I fly in Wednesday. Have a few on the way down. I'm sitting at the Minneapolis airport Wednesday afternoon with my golf bag and a suitcase and a backpack. These swear to my dad's grave. These are true stories. Mercedes-Benz pulls up, SUV with the Hazeltine PGA Championship. Guy hops out, pops the back trunk, and goes, "Mr. I can't remember the last name. I'm here to grab you." And I'm like, no, wrong guy. He was going to grab my clubs and everything. He thought I was the alternate that he was going to pick up.
Oh my gosh.
And
Why didn't you say yes? Why didn't you say yes?
Buddy, when does he get word? Does he get word on the drive and he has a chuckle? Do I actually get on the ground and then tell the boys, hey, I'm on the range, come and wave? I don't know how far that would have went.
The range or the tournament preparation area?
Yeah, I would have tried to get to the range as quick as possible. I don't know. How scary but fun that would have been. What a wild ride.
They would have ran back into the bushes, found the disposable cameras, and taken all the photos of you out there kind of elbow to elbow with Ernie Els out on the green.
But it was Wednesday, so I think they still could have had the Blackberries buzzing on Wednesday. Yeah, so those are two awesome stories. We're the Masters, just something about it. Let's shift.
By the way, for
Yeah.
those listening on the radio, not watching the stream, this is the other thing that's amazing about the Masters. I've caught you now like 5 times looking over your shoulder just to take a quick peek at the leaderboard. Who's on the screen right now. The amazing part about the Masters is you don't want to miss a shot. There's tournaments basically 51 other weeks of the year. You're barely paying attention, blah, blah, blah. I have like Masters traditions that I do with buddies on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday's just the couch day. It's just funny how like it just grips you this weekend, no matter what it is.
Oh, man, imagine getting to play it. Like,
I know.
It scares me on where I would put balls. There'd be houses that people have never seen before that I'd be paying for windows and insurance claims on.
You might find one of Rory's balls from 2011.
I would hit it over that house to whatever's on the other street. I'd be so puckered up. Oh, it'd be scary. Let's talk some CFL here. I'm curious to get your take on maybe. And I had Don Hewitt in with me earlier, and it's professional sports. You hear guys playing with slight tears in their knee, slight tears in their shoulder, slight tears in their biceps, obliques, whatever. Tells Justin Dung from 3 Down Nation and our Rider Broadcast Network team that he played with ACL, MCL tears last season. No surgery, though. He got the old PRP shots. What's your take on that story, Arash?
It's funny, we talk about the Masters. Tiger Woods got some PRP shots when he was coming back to tour a number of times. I don't want to say I'm stunned. It's just amazing how these guys are wired. Like partially torn ACL, torn MCL, and all he's thinking about after week 3 is how do I get back by week 11? Look, Trevor Harris is a gamer, etc. I wonder a couple of things, Barney. I wonder if the PRP is going to be enough to get him through an 18-game season, especially at age 38. I think those are real questions. I wonder, and this is so hard to do in football, I wonder if you try and load manage even a little bit, especially now that Jake Mayer's in town. Mm-hmm. Would you think about doing something like that? I thought it was really interesting. I mean, Harris kind of said it tongue-in-cheek that he feels he's a lot more mobile now. What do you call himself? Trevor Vick or something like that. But I think that the most important thing to me is not his mobility per se, but his ability to move around in the pocket. Will he be able to dance? Will he be able to create space for himself? Will he be able to create time for himself as the season goes on? I think this is the first chapter of the story. The second chapter is, okay, he's back. He's feeling great. He hasn't been hit in a while. What's going to happen when you get through the grind of the season, and would that knee maybe swell up on you or not? I think these are real questions that are going to only time is going to, and getting hit, will answer.
Yeah, I just think with the advancements and, rehab medicine, all that, PRP shot, you would have told someone about a PRP shot 25 years ago. And thinking you're going to a country bar on a Thursday night, going to the back bar, shots 2 for $5, beer 2 for $5.50. What about the Bombers? The $7 million in profit last year.
Doesn't it feel that the league has become haves and have-nots now? And the haves are fewer and far between, especially at a time where Edmonton's struggling, Calgary's struggling. Who knows what's happening in BC? But look, this is what happens, man, when you win and you invest in community initiatives like the Bombers have. They are all over the province. They have boys and girls, men and women flag football, not league initiatives, team initiatives. They're always there in the West Final, it seems, doesn't it? Hosting the West Final. The Rum Hut, and on a Friday night in the summer, they've made it the place to be. But Barney, I thought the most intriguing part of their announcement yesterday is they announced a profit of $7 million and then said, we're going to reinvest $7.1 million back into capital projects to keep that stadium kind of cutting edge, to make sure that, things aren't going to go by the wayside. I thought that was a really smart, progressive move by the Bombers. But a $7 million profit is amazing, because I know there are teams out there that lost double digit in the millions, like 10 plus last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't want to say names. No, just that's a hefty. Those are the teams that are cutting their cell phones and company vehicles on guys and things like that. It wouldn't be hard to figure out. How do you think some of these teams become more profitable? Let's go to Edmonton and Calgary. Obviously, getting people in the stadium is a big thing. Can that do it? Can they get the people in the stadium?
I think in Edmonton, that's going to be a very intriguing conversation, especially with new ownership, right? You go from a community-run organization, how you've always been doing it, and it's just kind of, it really is just, it's almost like the air has come out of the balloon and you've just watched it kind of, flutter away. It's just regressed more and more year by year over there. It looks like they're going to do some refurbishments to Commonwealth Stadium. That's needed. If you've walked in there in the last 5 years, you probably thought it was 1995, not 2025.
Last time I was in there was for Metallica, and people are urinating just in the corner, right. Over and over and over. And I get it. Okay. Find a bush.
Right. Look, I think winning is one thing, getting people in the stands is the other. And this whole Ed Hervey thing, another reason why it, pisses me off is that you need to market stars. People want to come out to watch stars. Instead of saying they don't exist, work on really making them something in that market and in that community. Give them a reason why they want to come. Terry Vaughn was a legend in that town. Mookie Mitchell was a legend in that town. Shoot, Hervey was. Winston October, Ricky Ray. People came to watch those players. You have to do that. And if Trey Ford can be the guy, Barney, I would put the marketing machine behind him. He's a Canadian. He's smart. They've invested in him. He's invested in that market. Invest and market your stars. That's a big way to get the public engaged in what you're doing.
A lot of people say Arash hates the CFL. You've been critical on it. That's your job. You're
honest. Yeah,
we can go honest. You got something coming up though next weekend with the Grey Cup.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited about this. Barney, you know how it goes. There's a lot of things that you do sometimes and you don't want any attention on it, blah, blah, blah. But so next weekend is the long weekend. It's Easter. And Toronto has the biggest children's hospital in the country, Sick Kids. And there are going to be a lot of kids who aren't going to be able to leave the hospital over that long weekend. And some of their families are going to be there. So got in touch with Ryan Dinwiddie, the head coach. Dinwiddie and I used to work in Winnipeg back in the day. There he is with his pops for those watching on the stream when they won the Grey Cup, Big Wayne. Dinwiddie and I are taking the Grey Cup to Sick Kids next Saturday. And for the families, for the kids, take the trophy, take some swag, blah, blah, blah. What an opportunity. I bet there'll be a lot of kids who will have no idea what that thing is, and that's going to be cool. But suddenly there's going to be a massive trophy there in the lobby, some atrium for the staff, for the families, for the kids themselves. It's going to be a great moment that they'll always have. And I think those are kind of some of the things that the CFL is great. You can really touch it and feel it and all those kinds of things. And it's good at Dinwiddie and the Argos to make that happen next weekend.
Nice touch, my man. Nice touch. All right. I will. I'll text you a couple things tonight, but my little
who's winning Who's winning Sunday? What's my live line sprinkle here?
I don't know. I got my first round though. Justin Rose bet.
Yeah,
looks like it could hang on to pay. So then after that, I'm playing with house money, as they say. But who I really want to win, I don't even know what he ended up today, was Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
And Corey Connors, Canadian.
I know. There's always hope after Thursday, isn't there?
Oh, it's classic. Yeah. And they said, maybe he can hold it together. I think I got a little dabble on him, so it'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm off next week, so you'll be with the Maz man.
Okay. Enjoy the time off.
Okay, buddy. Appreciate it. See ya.
Happy Masters.